Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Ella Elizabeth here, Purpose and Beyond. Welcome to the channel and to my space. Before I start talking, guys, I want to ask you if you will go ahead and subscribe to the channel, like the video. That helps to increase my videos in the algorithm and increases my chance of growing my subscription. So that's still a goal of mine. So anyway, guys, welcome back. And this week, guys, I am wanting to share with you the Christian Education Ministry kickoff that I did at my church. I shared with you guys some time ago that I have been assigned or named as the Executive Director of Christian Education Ministry at my church. And I'm so excited about that. And so I get to lead and direct everything related to the Christian Education Ministry, including Sunday school, Wednesday night Bible study. We even have a Monday night Bible study as well. But it's the children's church, it's vacation Bible school, it's achievement and awards, whether we're talking about the children, school-age children, or even adults. And so all of that is under the Christian Education Ministry. The last couple of months since I've been named that, I have been so busy at church. I've been trying to prepare. Right now, the children's church room, I'm almost done with that. Yesterday, I did the bulletin boards in that room that they're going to be using downstairs. I have someone coming this week to clean the carpet because I got paint drippings on the floor when we were painting the room. And so finished working that out, and some of the little bulletin board decorations that we put on the bulletin board. I did a little bit of it, didn't finish. And so this week, I am sharing with you the Christian Education Ministry kickoff that I did with all of the ministry leaders that are part of this department. And you'll see me putting together the gifts, the packages, the little gifts that I did for them, as well as the teacher toolbox. And I'm also going to share with you a video with my agenda, just what we did that day and the activities that we did. I was not able to film outward because I didn't want to put too many people on the video. So I just did just a video of the presentation that I did and just kind of walk you through that. And then I do show you just a little bit of one of the activities that we did that I also mentioned in the presentation as part of the agenda for the day. And so I'm sharing this. So in mind, if there's any other church out there, ministry leaders who's looking at Christian education, ways to, take your Christian education to the next level, because we are accountable for all of the saints and everyone that comes to the door, and we're training and we're educating, individuals about Christ and about the word and the ways of the Lord and the Bible. We're educating them. There's a greater accountability for those who say they are called to be teachers. And so that's what I'm trying to work on and build, increase in knowledge in that for all of those who are delivering instruction. I will do additional videos later on that kind of hints at what is the excellency, the more excellent way of Christian education, what it is, what it's not, what Christian education is not, but what you typically see in churches. And I just kind of want to walk through that. I'll do that at a later video. But this one, just enjoy me prepping and being excited about prepping for the Christian Education Ministry kickoff and all of the things for the ministry workers and the teachers, and then just preparing them for the year. So guys, anyway, I don't want this to be too long. I want to say again, welcome back to the channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the video because, I always forget to say subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys. Y'all have a wonderful day. And I pray God's blessings over you in your life. And most of all for me, I pray that you know your purpose, that you are walking in your purpose. All right. You guys have a wonderful day. God bless. I'll see you again soon if the Lord says the same. Bye.
Okay, guys. So in preparation, as I was sharing earlier, for the kickoff of the Christian Education Ministry that I'm doing tomorrow, we have leadership meeting at church. Following that, I'm going to be doing the kickoff with all of those that are part of the Christian Education Ministry. And so I did a haul, and I did not show you guys everything that I purchased, but I'm going to pull this out and show you So I have the two groups. I have the teaching group, and then there's all of the departments that are under Christian Education Ministry. So we've got Sunday school and we've got the Bible study teachers and those two departments. And then we also have Children's Church, Sunshine Band, Vacation Bible School, Achievement and Awards that also come under the Christian Education Ministry. So there's like an all Christian Education Ministry group, and then there's the teachers. So for the kickoff for the teachers, guys, I found these cute toolboxes, I said that I was going to create a toolbox for them, for the teachers. I found these cute toolboxes at the Dollar Tree, of course. So that was perfect. Didn't have to spend a lot of money. Perfect little toolbox. And what's going to go in their toolbox is I have their lesson plan book. And it's real simple because we're talking about, the teachers, they have not had training in pedagogy. And so I'm going to be working with them to, get their instruction, start incorporating some of the pedagogy for teaching. Well, that is teaching, but for learning as well. And so this simple lesson plan book that I just purchased it off of Amazon, it does have them to just kind of think about the summary task of the lesson that they're going to be presenting, and then the materials and equipment that they're going to be using or incorporating, any references, and then there's a space for homework or task, and then feedback, like how will you get feedback? So this is really basic, and this is perfect for what I wanted for them to be able to start thinking in that line, that when they're preparing their lessons, whether it's for Sunday school or Wednesday night Bible school or for the children, they need to start thinking about how they're going to incorporate those things in, because we're looking for and moving toward higher expectations and accountability with teaching and learning for Christian education. And so as we go through, I'm going to be doing just some sessions, like during our leadership meeting afterwards, I'll be doing some teacher sessions, just teaching them these strategies and how to incorporate these things into their instruction. And it's not like they have to be perfect. It's like, I'm going to teach you some things, and I want you just to start using one of those and incorporating something from each one of these squares. And all I did basically is it's kind of like UDL, a little bit Universal Design for Learning. If you're in education, you know what that means. But it is about the evidence-based practices that you incorporate with your instruction to facilitate learning for your students. So I have in here, when they're planning their lesson plan or unit, this is just a checklist for them to look at and say, are my goals clearly stated? The scope and sequence or the unit plan, do I have that, an understanding of that? Is it communicated? Does it include an introduction to the topic? Just a few examples in that box. And then everything over here is really required. Okay. Everything in this block is required, should be checked. Where we get into, options that I want to see them start adding these things into their instruction is when we get into teaching techniques and strategies, like the incorporation of visuals, the incorporation of technology, including games or reflection activities or role playing and things like that, so that we're not just doing sit and get and the instruction. And the other thing is that there's a peer-led activities, an opportunity for peer interaction and discussion, evaluation methods. How can they start to evaluate the students? We still have Bible study on Zoom right now, but you can create polls and surveys right in Zoom, and you can use Mentimeter, do QR codes, however you want to, but they need to stretch to make sure that the students are grasping the information. Just kind of do a quick assessment on whether or not the student grasps the information for that day. One, whether they're paying attention, or, speak to my instruction and whether or not I was clear with the information that I was sharing. And then also there's for student motivation, some strategies and ideas that they can do to make the lessons more engaging instead of it just being a sit and get. So this sheet will go into their toolbox. They'll have that. They'll have their lesson plan book, and then, teacher supplies. Just did ink pens, big highlighters and jot notes for them just to tab if they're tabbing in their Bible or in their planner, however they're doing it. So that's what's going to go for the teachers. There's one more sheet that I wanted to put in their box, and that is the outline for the Wednesday night Bible study. I'm trying to think if I should do that because not all of the teachers teach Wednesday night Bible study. I'm going to go ahead and do it just in case. So the other sheet is going to be the form that the teachers have to fill out. It's the outline or the notes page that the teachers have to complete for Bible study, Wednesday night Bible study, those that teach. That's completed, and then it's posted on our church website so that the members can download that. All right. So this is what's going to be for the teachers. I'm doing all of these tool boxes. I don't have that many teachers, but I'm just doing some, maybe a little bit extra. Now, what I didn't show you was I went ahead and did this, and I didn't show you the haul when I created this. So I'll just show you now. And all of them are different, but I created these little bags, of course, you know, the bags from the Dollar Tree. And so in it, I have some chips. There's chips. There's these little pistachio little treats, snacks. And then there's a little bag of individual thing of Lorna Doones. There's some goldfish. And there's different styles. So like each bag has something different. The only thing that's the same is like the Lorna Doones. But in each bag, the type of goldfish may be different. The chips may be different. And this pistachio treat may be different. And then I also purchased them this little wholesome medley snack. This is dark chocolate and nuts and almonds in it. So all of that's going in their treat bag. I told them they're, you know, part of this, it would be a snack bag. And that's for everyone in the department will get these. So I had to create enough for each person. And then the teachers will also get their teacher toolbox so that they're teaching. Also in here, I bought these little diffusers. I thought these were so cute. So what they'll do with this is fill it up with their favorite essential oil. And then they can just hang this, you know, in their car. And there's the little stem, you know, they'll just push the wick off in the bottle and then the scent will start to come up. But they can use this anywhere they want. I mean, you can put it in your closet, in your car. I thought these were so cute. And it was an inexpensive gift for me to buy. I think it came in like 18 in a box. I thought it was 16, but I did 16 bags. And so it looked like it's 18 came in that box. And so, yeah, each person will get one of these. So that will go in their bag. And then I put some little confetti on here. Of course, now it's all gone. And then I just tied this up. I'm going to put some more of this on top. I messed that one up because I was trying to take it loose to show, because I did not do the haul. I was intending to do the haul to show you guys what I was putting in here before I actually made them up. But I should have had this done several weeks, at least 2 weeks ago. I didn't. And so now the kickoff is tomorrow, and I'm just now putting these together. And then you can see here, they all are. Y'all excuse my mudroom. Y'all know this mudroom is a challenge for me. But here's where they all are. And you can see they have the different chips in there. And this is one of the lesson plan books that I bought from the Learning Store. But I didn't like this one. It didn't give enough guidance for the teachers. You know, like I said, they don't have degrees in teaching, and it just wasn't enough guidance in that one for me. And even though I thought this one, and so I thought that even though this one is simple, really simple, it gives just enough for them what they need to be thinking about and what they're going to be adding in their lessons. So that's that, guys. I have to go print out that one sheet, which is the template for the Bible study and what that looks like. They'll each get that. And then that's going to be it. I'm going to go ahead and put these together. I need to go and pick up a gift card for one of the teachers who's been so wonderful. And she went ahead and started using the Bible study outline, because the expectation was not that they were going to start using that in September. in September, but she went ahead and got started early using it. I'm so grateful for her because getting started using that early and being a model for all of the other teachers to show them how to do it and how the outline will be done, how to fill it out, what it looks like. And so the other thing I tried to do was order t-shirts. I was hoping to be able to give that teacher a t-shirt. What size is this? This is a medium. And she actually likes hers to be like a 2. She said 2X large. And she's not that big, but she just likes hers to be kind of dressy, dressy on her. So this is a t-shirt that I ordered offline on Amazon. It took a long time to get here. I tried to go to another vendor that's local. They did a wonderful job of a mock-up for me, but they wouldn't allow me just to purchase 2 shirts to use as an example. But I'm going to wear this one tomorrow anyway, just to give the Christian education department workers an idea of, what a t-shirt could look like. If they want or not, I'll work on getting someone else to do it for me and make them. Plus that guy was really expensive anyway. So that's the other thing that I had to do today. Now, before I go back downstairs, I am going to do this form so that I can print it out and everything will be ready. What is that? Okay, so I'm done with that one. And you can see on the form, I just tried to color code that just to put a little difference in there. So I need the Bible study template. I just did this yesterday. So this is the one. And I'm going to go ahead and print that out. I'll do 10. 10. Yeah, I'll do 10 of those. And this is the Bible study form that I created for them to put in their notes for Bible study. And so what I'm trying to get them to do, we have a date. They can put the instructor on there, but they always have to have a topic. What is the lesson aim? So whether it's a series or a topic, they put that on there. And then the lesson aim, and they have to give a background, give the learner some kind of background for the topic. And it's more than just a sentence, but give them a background. And then for each lesson, they need 3 points, no more, because sometimes they get a little ambitious with the points and it just goes on and it's just a ton of information. So what I'm asking to do, they'll do 3 points, no more than 3 points in the lesson. And then for each point, they're going to come over here and they're going to they're going to list the scripture. So no more coming to Bible study and only what scriptures are going to be done. All the learners will have access to this before the Bible study. And what the aim is to get them to have this ready 2-3 weeks before the lesson comes, so that learners can be looking at it at least 2 weeks before the presentation of that lesson. And then I also ask on here that they, add some information for further study, whether it's another book of the Bible or some other story or book that they can reference for a person to continue their development and study of that content. And then also they add the key vocabulary, because sometimes they'll get into Hebrew, or sometimes in a lesson, we know that terms, the Greek and Hebrew translation. So if there's key vocabulary to be discussed, I want them to add that in there. And then this is expandable. So so once they start typing, this will just expand. So each point, line will expand for them. And of course, what I ask them to do is to stick with just doing 3 topics and no more. So, not to be ambitious and trying to add just too much information. So that's going to be all I needed for, let's see what I hear. I hear like yard, or I don't know if there's somebody working in the yard, or what is that I hear? here's something. What is that? Oh, that's those guys over there. They're working on that house. Looks like he's doing countertops. All right. And so here these are, and I made 2 extras so one can stay. Actually, one of these is going to be for me to talk off of, so I'll have one of each thing too. That one's trash. This goes for me. I've done the PowerPoint. The PowerPoint for the presentation is done. And I'm going to have to, oh, here's the other thing. I forgot all about this. Almost forgot. Oh my gosh. All right. So this is something else that I knew there was something else supposed to go in the box. And I still feel like there's something else. I still feel like there's something else that was supposed to go into their box, but I can't think of it. But anyways, I think this is enough. So when I did the initial introduction of the Christian education ministry, and I wanted to establish the importance of effective Christian education ministry and what that entails, talking about what the Bible's perspective of teaching and learning. And so as we went through scriptures, I said before, we came up with kind of like a value statement about Christian education. And so of all the scriptures that we talked about and shared that day, what the value statement we ended up surmising from that was that as a Christian education teacher, I am accountable to God, and I have a duty and a responsibility to ensure my students learn and grow. And so that's the Christian education ministry, our church logo. And I just had these little magnets made again from Amazon. And so that also will go into their teacher toolbox, and then they can put that on their computer or on their refrigerator, just as a reminder about their responsibility and accountability as a teacher, that they should be preparing content in a way, the instruction in a way that's going to make sure that the learners get it. And then it's follow up after that. You want to just be monitoring that people are growing. We have to have accountability if people want accountability today for their salvation and their walk with Christ, because your soul and your reward in heaven is based on that. So anyway, guys, that's everything that I needed to prepare for the teacher's toolboxes. I'm going to go ahead and put these together, because since I wasn't able to get the t-shirt for that teacher, I'm going to have to go and get her a gift card. I know she and her husband like Cheesecake Factory. So I'm just going to get her a little gift card from Cheesecake Factory. So I'm going to put these in here, close this box up. That's the way I'm going to have to do that. So that closes. That's in there. That's in there. That's in there. And that's in there. And then, so I just thought that was so great to find these little 2 boxes. And then, voila. There you go. Well, all right. Now, I thought that was so cute. There you go. So I'm just going to put these together, and then I'm going to run and go get her gift card. And then I also want to I need to pick up, because we painted in the church. I didn't show that last weekend. I was busy working in the church, painting the children's church area. If you're the department head, I guess, it kind of falls on you. And people say they're going to come. Not everybody shows up. So, it falls on you to get it done. Although I don't think, I should have been painting, but I was. It's okay. And so I was really worn out after that. So last Sunday, I didn't go to church because, you do that kind of work, and then the next day your body says, I don't know who you think you are. So anyway, guys, I am going to finish getting all of these together. And then tomorrow, like I said, is the actual kickoff. I need to go in just a few minutes. I need to go and run and pick up a gift card for her. I also want to go by Michael's. No, not Michael's. I'll go by Hobby Lobby because they're supposed to have some teacher room decor bulletin boards. So I want to go see what they have because I also need to do that room. We painted, like I said, but I need to do some touch up, clean up on the paint. And then I need to fix the bulletin boards. And I think I'm just going to get white. If not sage, but maybe like a mint green, something like that, just to put on all of the bulletin boards downstairs where the children will be. And plus that'll be a multi-purpose room. So at some point, when we do district level trainings, then, that will be at our church. That room will be multi-purpose. So we just want to make sure that it's ready. Anyway, guys, I'm going to get off of here because I'm starting to repeat myself. You guys have a great day. And hopefully I can get some video tomorrow of the event because I also bought some decor for the tables. I want to do like a balloon display or something, since I have all those balloons out there. I want to do like a balloon display. So I may do that tomorrow as well. So anyway, guys, okay. I will hopefully show you guys tomorrow what it looks like at church. Okay.
There probably won't be that many, okay, sis? All right. I'm gonna head up that way so I can get my stuff. Go ahead, Loretta, okay? Do you get a lock on the door? No. Do you know what these here? Where do you want this? I can probably take it. Yeah.
Those your bags? What you got in?
Thank you.
They're just little snack bags for
Oh, this is her.
mine.
Oh,
This is Christian Education Ministry.
Okay, all right.
Okay, guys, so I just want to share the presentation that we did on August the 16th. We were actually having our Christian Education Ministry kickoff. And this was a time for all of those that are involved in the Christian Education Ministry to come together for us to get set for the beginning of the year. And so I just wanted to pull everyone together. And so during that meeting, our agenda for that day involved having department introductions, discussing department meetings for the year, talking about communication, doing an activity around calendaring, discussing trainings for the year, as well as talking about the different places that we had around the church for meeting space. And then we were going to do a closing activity that involved recognitions and achievement for all of those involved in the Christian Education Ministry, as well as little gift items for each one. And so for the introduction, I wanted each person that's a part of the ministry, each leader, to introduce themselves and introduce all of those that were involved and supporting and helping their ministry. And the importance of this was that whenever something needs to be done, we're talking about setting organization and structure so that if anyone had a question or they needed to know, how to do something or they needed something done, they needed to know who the leader was for that department to go to that person. I know this sounds very elementary and rudimentary when you're talking about organization, but what I found with my particular church, after coming back from COVID, it's like people just forgot all about organization and structure, and we're needing to set all of that again. And we just want to make sure we get that solidified, and that becomes a practice that's like steeped in our bones. And so an activity that we did was called Untie the Knot. Now, the purpose of this activity for that day was to drive home the importance of communication as we begin to work in our ministries and we have the structure set up so that when people need things, again, they know who to talk to and the importance of communicating with that person. Not only that, but it's whenever your department is in charge or your department is leading out on an activity, it's important for all of those that work with you for communication, whether it's, you have an assigned task that you're supposed to do. I wanted them to know that in ministry, we're doing things to edify the body, and people are depending on you. So not communicating about a task or something that needs to be done, that's not the way we want to do things for the kingdom. And then also wanted to do just a motivational moment with them. And we came out of 1 Corinthians 14, 26 and 40. And I explained to them, although I understand that scripture is speaking about spiritual gifts, speaking in tongues, and maybe the interpretation of tongues and how everything has to be done in order, I also wanted to show the application to everything that we do in church and service and rendering all of our gifts, no matter what those are. And so we took this scripture and we broke this down and identified 3 principles in this scripture, one of which was speaking to that we each have different gifts, we each have different areas of ministry and skills and knowledge that we bring to the church. And the second principle is that whenever we're working, what we do must be done so that we build up the church, so that we edify the church. That means a lot of us, we have to get self out of the way. We have to be selfless in rendering our gift. And then lastly, everything has to be done decently and in order. Everything has to be done in a structured and orderly way. So as far as my meeting with them as the executive director was to set the tone and the expectation for how we would function. And I know the most important thing is that I be a model of this so that I can start to instill that and people can see that in action. Now, to drive the idea home about the importance of communication and collaboration, I shared a video from Steve Jobs with them. And in his 1 minute, little 1 minute and 40-second video, he talked about the structure of his organization and how one of the most important things that helps his company be successful is that they are very collaborative. They collaborate for better ideas to get things done. The second thing is they delegate responsibility, and then they trust that each person who is assigned a task, that person is going to carry through on their task. So this drove home the idea that I was trying to instill in the ministry workers, as also as far as teamwork and the importance of teamwork. And so what I said to them was that everything we do as part of the Christian education ministry is aimed at supporting and carrying out the vision and mission of the overall church, the church at large. And so following that motivational moment, we did a breakout for calendaring time. Now, I provided the resource for each ministry leader, passed out calendars, and I asked them to work in groups with all of those that work with them and begin to write down dates and calendars for the year. These are things that they know are going to be coming up the year, things that are due. For example, if there's a particular series and Bible study they're doing, they know they've scoped out and done a sequence on how long it's going to take for that unit. And then if it's Sunday school, then special things might be time to order books and when they need to get the orders in, so on and so forth. If there's awards and achievement, if we know that for the new members class, that class is one of the sessions is going to end at a certain point, then we know that we need to be doing awards and recognitions. Every year we know that we do either a back to school or we're doing the end of year achievement and awards for students. So those types of things need to be on the ministry calendar, so because it will communicate. Now, what I drove home with them about the calendar, the importance of the calendar is that it is a tool of communication, and it communicates so much, not just to the people in the church, but it communicates to those outside of the church who may be looking for a church home or who may have a need. One of the things that I spoke to them about as far as communication, it communicates expectations, it communicates needs. So if I have documented on the calendar when we're doing a certain event, then it communicates to those that see the calendar and who are part of that team that, oh, this is my part on that. So this is the due date, then I need to have my part of that done. That's one thing that it communicates, and the expectations, as we saw from the Steve Jobs video. No one wants to micromanage you. We want you to be trustworthy to do your part to make everything work. And a calendar is one way to document what those needs are and when things are due. The second thing that it notes for that it identifies or notes or communicates for those outside of the church, it lets those individuals know what the church is doing, that they are active and involved in having certain things going on. I shared a testimony with them that, when I was looking for a church home, or not even just me, not necessarily even a testimony, but the idea that when people are looking for a church home, one of the things that they do is they look at your calendar on your church's website. And if they don't see anything going on, then they think, oh, there's nothing going on. There's nothing going on at this church that's going to meet my needs. There's nothing at this church for me to know that I can come and share my gift and be involved in. So they just skip right over your church and they go to the next church. So I talked about that as the importance of communicating with others. And as you can see at the bottom, I said establishing a calendar communicates expectations, it sets parameters, structure, and order. Very important. Calendars are very important tool for communication. And so then one of the last things that we were doing at the meeting is that I gave them an assignment for each department leader, and that assignment involved them coming up with a purpose statement for their department. And it was to describe the purpose of that department as it related to the Christian education ministry and the overall vision and mission of the church. And then just gave some bullet statements about what that would include. And also gave them time that it wasn't due in 1 or 2 weeks. It was something that they could think about. And as we're developing the website, I would be collecting those at a later time. And so the last activity of the day was to do celebrations and achievements. And so, as I stated earlier, this implementation of the higher expectations for Christian education was to begin in September. One of the things that involved was I created an outline for the Wednesday night Bible study that was to be used during instruction. And so each teacher responsible for delivering the teaching or ministry on Wednesday night Bible study, they're now required to complete an outline or a notes page for each lesson, or if it's a series. And that is to be turned in to be posted on our church's website so that any member attending the Bible study can download those notes ahead of time and study ahead of time, as well as have something tangible, a notes page that they can compile and keep in a journal or folder for themselves for further review and further study. And so this particular person, who's a Wednesday night Bible study teacher, she was so gracious to begin implementing the notes page ahead of time. She actually started in, I think it was July or August, that she went ahead and got started, even though it wasn't required to begin until September. But I was so appreciative of her, and I just wanted to make a special recognition of her and gave her a special little award. Now, the rest of the Christian education ministry workers, as you saw me working earlier in the video, I created these little gift bags for them that included snacks and then a little diffuser. So everyone that was a part of the ministry received that on that day. And then any teacher who is responsible for teaching, whether it's Sunday school or Wednesday night Bible study or the children in Sunday school, they received a teacher toolbox, and you noted all of the things that were a part of the toolbox. So that was our ministry kickoff for Christian Education Ministry, and it was a wonderful time to set the tone and get the teachers prepared for the year.
Close. We're going to come in close. And you're going to grab someone's hand, but you're not going to grab the person's hands next to you. So you have to get in a little closer, get in and close it a little bit more, and grab someone's hand that's not next to you. Not next to you. Not next to you. Grab somebody's hand that's free. One hand. Grab. One hand. One hand. One hand. I'm trying to help you. Do one hand. Yeah, one hand. Grab somebody's hand who's free. That's free. A hand that's free. AK, I need you. Because we have Sister Lowe here, we need another hand.
Another body.
We're falling asleep here, missionary AK.
Somebody's hand that's not next to you.
We're falling asleep.
That recording.
Yeah, right there.
It's okay. Very good. All right, now everybody has a hand.
Yeah.
All right, here's what you're going to do. This is called untie the knot.
Okay.
So you guys are going to work to untangle yourself without letting go of the person's hand that you're holding. Don't cheat. Untie the knot. Oh, y'all did. Oh my gosh. Okay, go ahead. Y'all did that. Yeah, y'all did that too. Y'all did that too well. Y'all must have done that before. Y'all did that too well.